windy today, but we have some big projects to do for the church. First off, we're going to be adding some barrier around some rock bed, flower beds that we got. We can get this one right here for $16.98 for 20 feet. I was like, I might need 2 of those, so that's going to be about $32, but I can get 60 feet for 40 bucks. I'm also picking up a few extra packages of these anchoring spikes. I don't know if I should go with this one, the $6.97, or go with $18.98. I think I might go with the $18.98 if I ever need any extra. So we're gonna also be picking up some more river pebbles. So we got a little outside adventure we're gonna do at the church, and we'll show you guys what we're doing today completely. We're just at Home Depot now picking up the stuff. So let's get to it. All right, so now we're picking up some river pebbles. They had to get them down from the top for me. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We're gonna pick up about 6 bags, and they're $4.28 a bag. They look like this. Okay guys, we got our stuff here. 6 bags of this pebbles, which is not going to be needed for that whole bed. As you can see, there are rock in that bed, and once we spread it out, it could cover some of these areas that we're worried about, like right here. You can start to see the under mesh of what the rocks go over the top of. So the reason why that has happened is because a lot of times people walk by, they walk in this and they kick their feet, and as you can see, when I do that down, the rocks start to come out, and so then we lose rocks, right? They end up in the grass, they end up kicked way down there, and over time, after so many months and stuff, weeks, days, years, whatever, you lose rocks. So we did have a rock here, and I don't know what happened to it, but it's gone. I had 3 rocks, like this one, I had another one right here. I'll have to find it. But I don't know if that's it or not. That's not it. I don't know what happened to it. We also are going to have to get these leaves out of here. So we're going to clear these leaves out. We're going to straighten these rocks up more, put a few more, maybe 2 or 3 bags of rocks more, fill it in, and then we're going to move this a little bit away from the gap. And you're going to need this type of material, what we saw at Home Depot, and you're going to need a rubber mallet. And what you're going to do is you're going to hammer them in to create that border so the rocks can't go out anymore. And that'll take care of your problem. So let's see what we can do. This is before, and of course you'll see the after. Okay guys, there's going to be some items you need for this particular job. You need the rubber mallet to be able to hammer the spikes in when you do the plastic. You're going to need your rocks. You're also going to need some extra things that don't necessarily have to do with the rocks or the border, but what's inside the bed already. So I would recommend wearing some gloves. For hand protection, you don't have to. Sometimes I don't wear them, I forget them, and it don't bother me none to get, you know, poked with sticks or rocks or even glass or plastic. It doesn't bother me, but it's important, though. I would go ahead and throw some rocks on. You also need a push broom right there. Push broom is because any leftover rocks that you want to put in the bed before or while you're pouring new that spill out before you put the border down, you can just push them in. And then another thing you need is the rake, so we can get some of these leaves out of here. We'll have to do both sides of this fence, but as you see, once we do that, we're able to clear up an area right there where it's starting to be more clear on the area where we just raked. So that's the type of tools you'll need, and as you can see, just by doing that already, our bed is starting to even look better than what it was just 5 minutes ago. All right, let's keep working and see what else we can get done. Even on a windy day, such as today, it's not that windy. You get a slight breeze every once in a while. The leaves that you rake up will blow back over. As you can see, we got some, but they're starting to come back. You got to do it the best you can, so get it cleared the best way. So once you fight it so much, even a leaf blower, even on a windy day, can still help better than what just a rake can. So if you got a leaf blower, use it. All right, we got the leaves pretty well good for right now. Now we're gonna take this push broom, we're gonna push some extra rocks that we see on the concrete back into the bed. All right, so what we're gonna do now is the next step is we're gonna look for any green grass sticking out. I don't really see any, so we're just gonna cover these areas that have the black mesh sticking up with extra rock. And this bed looks kind of dry because the rocks are a little bit older. These rocks will match the color eventually because they'll become older too. And so it won't really look that much off on collar balance. And I haven't put the border in just yet because we can still use the push broom to push the rocks that steep out. But what I wanted to do right now was just cover in these black areas and then start working on the bordering piece, at least in the front, and that one side by that other. All right. Okay, so we've done a little bit of prep, not much, just a little. It's not the best prep we could have done, but it's something to get us going. So we can go ahead and just start getting this border down. It's a windy day, so we're fighting a lot of the conditions and elements. But hey, we need to get this project done. So this particular Vigoro says no digging, 60 feet, no digging. So we don't have to dig, which is good. So let's see what it looks like when we open it up. And if we're gonna have to cut it, might have to cut it. And if we do, we got some snippers inside that we'll use to cut it. So we do have to cut it. And basically it will go in just like this, and I'll create a line all the way down, and we'll have to move these rocks out of the way so we can dig in, so we don't have to dig, but so we can put this flat up against the ground. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through right now and just take our bare hands and create this area where we're starting to move these rocks. It won't be perfect because there's already rocks here, but it'll be good enough to lay this plastic down so it can be some type of barrier. And then we'll have these rods here we're gonna hammer in. So hang in there, we'll be right back. Okay, so we cleared a little bit of a spot, not much, just a little enough to get our bracket pieces down here. It's gonna raise it slightly as you can come around here, come around the front. When we hammer that in, we're still gonna have this much more room on top of the lip of the concrete, which is what we're kind of looking for, because I think that will give us enough space to keep our rocks within where we need to keep them in. So and we also have a little bit more higher height to build up the rocks. So all right guys, we're gonna start hammering in. So here we go, let's get the first one hammered in. I want to make sure it's going to be up just enough, so I got to clear up these little bit of more rocks right here. I'm going to have to do that all the way down because we just have a bunch of rock buildup. So what we're going to use is one of these. They come with these right here, and we're going to push that down. And you may need a rubber mallet. If your ground is real soft, you may not, but a rubber mallet makes it totally easy. And as you can see, it kind of flexes it up. You see how it rose it up right there. So we're going to do that all the way down. So we're going to keep going, and we'll come right back and you guys can kind of see where we're at. One thing I've noticed, guys, is that we are not going to cut this area, and why would you have to? It says it's flexible on the box. But as you can see, we're just going to push this all the way up against the edge here of the concrete. Oh, sorry, and we're going to nail some, we don't need that. We're going to nail some nails. We're going to push right up against the edge of the concrete, and then we're going to nail some nails in here to keep it within place. So we'll gonna do that. We got most of it down that way already done, and now we're just working on finishing it up so we can start adding and spreading out our rocks better. We got one in place there. Let's see. Let's put one in this area here. And I like to put them at an angle. That way you're not running up against the concrete that might be leading out more into this area. So if you've got an area that's stuck, like we got some rocks here that are causing this to not want to go down as much as the other side, but that's okay. You can just move them out of there and get back to hammering. Get those rocks out of there. There we go. That's good. And then we're just gonna hammer this one in. And like I said, I like to go at an angle, so that way, if you feel like there's something stopping you, don't fight it. Find a way to get it to smoothly go in there and see from there. Just like that. Till you get it down in there, and it does that right there for you. And also keep this in mind, guys. You'll be pushing your rocks back up towards it, so your rocks are gonna push it up against further and create more weight to keep it more stable. So let's see what the finished product is when we get this all the way to the end. The leaves raked out again and the rocks moved over. All right, so we do have to cut one area. It wasn't down at the corner, it's just when you try to end, obviously it's wrapped in a coil, so you need to cut. So we're gonna use these little snippers here and we're gonna cut it. They're not the sharpest ones I got, but they're gonna have to do. Better to use some sharp ones, but when you don't, you just feed it through until you get it loose enough to cut. And it will cut, just like anything. And that's pretty close to the end there. I'm gonna be slightly off a little bit. Nothing the big rock right here couldn't handle, just to hang in there. There we go. So, all right guys, we're gonna hammer it the rest of the way in, and then we'll finish off the bed. Okay guys, so we got that border around now. Got the leaves again back behind there, and they're gonna keep getting trapped back on there. Put some little rocks back where we did have them. We found a smaller one that got broken that looked as big as those, but they got broken. And so we're gonna have to find another one, but for right now that'll have to do. But yeah, this will definitely keep those rocks, that border, which is about an inch or two above, will keep those rocks away from the concrete, at least for now. And in the water, one thing we could do is cut back on how many rocks we have in there, but you know, as long as we keep doing that, keep that border intact, we'll definitely see a decrease in the amount of rocks that were there. We also did this one over here, but not today, but we recently, about a year ago, we did that. But one thing about the wooden dividers is they break easy because people step on them. With these, people could step on them, but they're not as high up and they don't look as inviting to walk on as like the wood does. So, here we go, John. Finish this out. Yes, I did go home and change. If you guys are wondering, did he have that on earlier? I didn't have this on underneath. Got a little cooler. We had to go do something. We had to come back and finish this. So, but we've got it done. We are done now. We just got another bed over there to do. We eventually will get to it to do. So this is something real easy and simple, just as far as taking plastic little nails and screwing them into the, or hammering them into the ground with a rubber mallet, lining yourself up, make sure you got some dirt, and then cleaning up some stuff. That's really it. That's all it was. And I think that was like $39.99 for that, and then like 16 something for an extra package of plastic nails. So for under 60 bucks, you can create a nice little divider for a rock bed, flower bed, or whatever you want to do. So, wow. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video. We tried to show you a little bit here and there, but not keep you too in one area just hammering something. So, that's all we have, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Hit the little bell so you'll be notified next time we upload. And until then, guys, happy DIY, everyone. Later.